Welcome to another episode of Pels and the Blender. It's your boy A. Davis coming to y'all on this Pelicans game day on this Monday afternoon. Getting myself, it's afternoon, 1 o'clock, afternoon time, getting myself situated, getting ready to go. We got a big one, 2 winless teams. It's weird to say that the Boston Celtics are one of the winless teams in the league, but we got Boston coming into the Blender today. The Pelicans look to end the losing streak 0-2, start off and start getting to some winning ways, get this thing on the right track, and look to put together a complete game and get a win. So I ain't gonna be here too long this afternoon. Just kind of want to come and just touch base real quick. So my expectations, bro, for the night, to be honest, I expect them to look good. And in their first 2 games, they haven't looked bad necessarily. It's just for stretches, like certain parts of the game when teams are getting on their runs, we just look like we don't know what to do. The 9 Zion minutes, I know, Chad's been referencing the 9 Zion minutes. We should be better with those. But again, it's really early in the season and really early in the process. So absolutely expected to appreciate you just for tapping in. You know what I mean? Always, you've been showing a lot of love lately. Appreciate you. Absolutely expect a W. They got, like, for the most part, we relatively healthy. Like, we're missing a couple of the bigs, but I think Missy is coming back. We'll probably get the lineups tonight closer to game time on if, Missy's going to be active, if Carlo's going to be active. Like, my real name, Alvin. But we expect them to play, and with them playing, to be honest, you'll get like you'll get a more balanced team with the A, like the chipmunk. Yeah, that's where all these Alvin Chipmunk tattoos come from. It's with the A. You know what I mean? That's the New Orleans in me. It sounds like Alvin, but it's Al. You know what I mean? That's where the A Davis come from. Appreciate you though. But if we get everybody back, right? If you get a more complete, that's it right there. Appreciate you. If we get a more complete roster, we should be able to have a more complete effort. Z questionable tonight. I hope he plays. See, that's the information right there. I don't know. Like early in the season, like, do we expect Z to play all his games? Yes, but at the same time, like, a lot of the stars kind of missing. You see Luka out right now. Luka gonna be out for a week. I don't know if Jaylen Brown is gonna be. They say Jaylen Brown might miss the game tonight too, so I'm not sure. But I don't know. Like, there'll probably be more information being released on the roster and who's playing and who's not playing. Like I said, as they get closer to left foot contusion. Jesus, that's confirmed. Like, confirmed he's not playing, or is it just a questionable? Well, I'll say this too. If Jaylen Brown don't play and if Z don't play, you still could win this game. Or you still should win this game. Regardless of whatever's going on. With Tatum being out, I expect a W. I still expect a W from them against this particular team, because while the Celtics historically have been better, like, right now our roster is just better than this. And especially, like I said, if Jaylen Brown not playing. If Jaylen Brown's not playing, then their best offensive player is Derek White, and their second best player is Anthony Simons. So, like, we should be able to match up with that team really, really well. Like, right now on the season, Derek White is averaging 18, Peyton Pritchard is averaging 15, and Anthony Simons is averaging 11. Like, Trey Murphy and Jordan Poole should be good enough to carry and win that game, especially if you get the performances that you've been getting from the others. Sadiq Bey has been playing well. Jeremiah Fizz has been playing well. Queen has been coming along playing well, especially with the boost that you should get from Missy and Carlo being back. You should have DeAndre Jordan available to you should you need another big man. So and I think we're more equipped this season to handle the games without Z than we was, especially last season. Like last season, you know what I mean? If Z missed time, or BI, who technically was your second best player, missed time, you could almost count it as a loss. I think with adding Poole and some of the other playmakers that we have, they're in better situations to sustain if Z do need to sit out a game or whatever. But if you think about it, and this is the tough part about when you start off 0-2 as opposed to starting off 2-0. Because if you start off 2-0, if Z does have something going on, you could rest Z. I don't really believe that in the rest, but you know what I mean? If you needed to, you could rest Z against the Celtics, who were 0-3 or whatever. You still play everybody else. You should be able to get this game. Or even if you take the L in that game, it's okay. You 2-1 and you preparing yourself for the next stretch you got going with Denver, the Clippers, and OKC. The problem that you have being 0-2 is you can't afford to take no L to Boston. So even if Z is banged up, say, dog, it's all hands on deck. We got to get this thing. We got to get the ship right. So that's kind of really where I stand on that. Like, if you could play, go play. And that's pretty. No, they don't do good. They don't do good without Z, but I don't think they do good. I don't think they do well without Z when Z is already on the floor, right? Like, because they're already dependent on Z being there and playing a certain type of way. I think for one game against like a lesser team, you could probably get a good enough performance from Trey or Poole, who's probably gonna have the mindset like, okay, there is no deferring. There, you know what I mean? It's just a different mindset for one game. I think you could get away with it. Zion might not play tonight. Look, I'm even getting the text messages coming through. Zion might not play tonight. And again, though, like, it's early in the season. I do think that he should play, obviously, but like, if one game is going to stop you from missing extended time, like, again, you already seen that other players have set out. We're just not in a situation where we can afford that, because our asses started off 0-2. 0-2 and 2-0 just looks completely different. You just view the season differently. But again, we'll just see when we get closer to the to game time. I'm gonna be there regardless. You know what I mean? When we get closer to game time and see what happens. So that's pretty much where we at with that. I ain't gonna lie. Like, obviously I want Z to play and I want us to win, but I'm not overly concerned. Like, Boston hasn't done anything to where you should feel overly impressed, even though, you know, they are a championship level organization and stuff. So you still kind of be concerned. But if Trey and Poole are playing and Herb is playing and all of that, like, you have enough to where you should still expect to win this game. And that's basically what it comes down to. So a lot, I kind of wanted to gauge to a degree, like, how the team has been performing, because it's been rough to, like, when you watching the games, and it's only a 2-game sample, right? A 2-game sample is tough to really judge, because it's not like, for example, it's not necessarily a 10-game. Hold on, Mike. I like the makeup of our team. This coach just doesn't do well without Z. Let me fix that. I don't. So no, he don't do well without Z, but I don't know if he does well with Z either. So I don't know, man. Like, with this particular season, it's just so many unanswered questions. And like, you can tell to me that at least it feels like in the building, they have a kind of like, not a wait and see, but they don't want to overreact early. And I understand that, again, it's only 2 games. But the way I'm looking at it is kind of like, okay, it's only 2 games, but you technically, and I'm looking at like preseason don't really matter, but you didn't win none of the preseason games. You 0-2 right now. You get what I'm saying? I was actually getting ready to transition into that anyway, because they looking at, shout out to you, Mike, for tapping in. Appreciate you. They looking at the season as if they're trying to evaluate and give it some time to kind of see what's going on. At least that's how it appears to me when you listen to them, in the interviews. They keep talking about, the chemistry, and it's gonna take time, and we played well. Not like nobody seems like they're panicking right now necessarily. So if that's the case, this could be an opportunity with, Queen did just play 35 minutes the other night and looked well against one of the, in his 2 games, he played solid, in my opinion, and looked good in his matchups against 2 of the top bigs in the league. So if you got a situation where you do have an opportunity to play Queen in a starting role, kind of feature him a little bit against a team that don't have no real, no real bigs, and you still got Missy and Carlo that could kind of help. Shit, you might have, again, like you say, you might have an opportunity to see what Queen could do with extended minutes or with a more focused offensive role. Let's just put it that way, with not having to defer a little bit too much. So, and he's still gonna have to defer because Trey and Poole, would be the 1 and 2 in that situation. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad situation. Like, I'm already of the mindset, like, I really don't need to see too much more, to be honest. You talk about them playing solid. I'm of the mindset that by like game 15 to 20, I'm trying to figure out a way to start both of them. I'll just be honest. My starting lineup, and I think we're going to see it at some point in the season, but my starting lineup at some point is Fears, Poole, Queen, Trey, and Z. Like, I think that's going to be the lineup that at some point we're going to be playing, and we'll see. Or at least that's the one I want to see. So I kind of wanted to, like I said, we was talking about like the season, and when you watching the games, it's hard to really like judge, but then you still kind of got to look at the stats to see if the stats are matching up with what it is that you're seeing, right? So let me go ahead, pull this up. I'm gonna pull up the stats reference real quick and go through these if y'all can see those. So like it's a little or whatever, but as of right now, you see Z, for example, if you look at Z stat line, dog, Z averaging 27. He sent 9.5. So he sent 27, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals on 35 minutes a game. Like, he been shooting, he got 19.5 attempts, so 20 attempts a game. Like, and even shooting, how many free throws a game? It just say he got 14 attempts on the season, but that fucking free throw percentage, that 65% from free throw, that's not good. That's definitely got to be a better number. But Z averaging 25, 10, 6, and 4, leading the league in steals and all of that, shooting 20 times a game. Like, you absolutely want to see more from him. And that's the part that's crazy, playing 35 minutes a game. Like, the fact that you want to see more of this team needs more is, like, I don't know if that's an indictment on like Poole and Trey right now, because you've had 2 of your other players like really not have great games. Like Trey so far, and again, it's only 2 games, averaging 18. Now he has done better with the rebounds. 18, almost 9 rebounds and 4 assists. Like, the thing with Trey is we need the 18. Dog, you got to be closer to like 22. And if Trey is closer to 22, then those games are wins. Like, if Z at 27 and Trey at 22, those games are wins. So like, if this is what they're going to look like, Poole is right around 19 too. So Poole was averaging 19 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists, which shows me that, bro, he out there shooting, right? That's what they brought him in to do, though. They brought him in to shoot, and that's what he's out there doing. So like, I think Poole is doing his part based off what it is you brought him in to do. Z, if Trey's not going to take the step that we think Trey's going to take, and again, it's only 2 games, they're getting rhythm and all of that. Yeah, all of that matters. But like Trey averaging 18 points a game is not, to me, it's not going to justify the money. Like, it's not going to justify the money. The rebounding is a good number. If you're going to get 8.5 from Trey, that's a great number. Herb right now averaging 8 points and 8 rebounds. Like, the rebounding, they're doing well with the rebounding. But, like, I don't think this team's going to be able to be consistent with them averaging, like Trey averaging 18 points a game. And Herb, that's also why I think Herb needs to go to the bench. But if we talk, especially if you look at Sadiq numbers, Sadiq is averaging 11 points a game. What is he shooting from three? He's shooting 45% from three, bro. And defensively, he's solid. Like Herb shooting 300% from three and 30% from three, and Sadiq Bey shooting 45% from three. That might need to be your don't need Herb shooting 11 shots a game. No. And a lot of people don't think about these numbers, but Herb shooting 11 shots a game and only averaging 8.5, with Sadiq shooting 9.5 and averaging 11. Like, in less minutes on the floor. And then Herb, respectfully, hasn't been as impactful defensively. So, like, I'm not saying that Herb need to be benched for Sadiq. I wouldn't mind if they made the decision. I would bench him for Derek Queen. Excuse me, because you get more size. You already want to play two bigs, and you just get more versatility that way. But that's something that I would consider. And the stats prove out what it is we've been seeing in the games. What's some of the things we've been complaining about in the games? Bro, Herb shooting too much. Well, shit, at 11 shots a game, yeah, that's what it looked like. Z's been playing well, but we need him to do more. 20 shots a game that's a lot for Z, but again, like, that's the most that Z shot in his career. But you still need it to be more if the team is gonna win, right? Also, what you see from Trey averaging 18. Like, for us to consistently get wins, we needed Trey numbers to look more like, not more like, well, Biagi, it's early Bi. You need Trey to be in the 20s. Poole averaging 19, shooting 17 shots a game. That's kind of where he at, and I think he's shooting a little bit more because they're trying to figure it out. So all of that'll balance out. But he's right around what you got from CJ. So that part is fine. The issue is this Herb number, the 11 shots a game. That's an issue. Trey, you need to get up. They all doing a lot better rebounding. But look at this dude, bro. Jeremiah Fizz on 9 shots a game, averaging 15 points off the bench in 23 minutes, averaging 15 and 23 minutes for a rookie. Like, that's a guy that at some point we need to put him. Murphy is in the 20s if he's starting to make threes. Yeah, he gotta start to make his threes. Like, he gotta start to make his threes. It'll be easy right now. What's Trey shooting from three? Trey shooting 28% from three right now. Like, that's not, and obviously we expect Trey to shoot significantly better from three throughout the season, but Trey shooting 28% from three, like, bro, you gotta be better than that. Like, that's just what it boiled down to. We need Poole to be better than that. 37% from three is not terrible. 37% from three actually is not that bad. It's actually not that bad, especially if you're shooting 8 a game. It's not the worst, but it would be nice to be better. Sadiq Bey being your, you know what I mean, essentially your best 3-point shooter, you know, getting up 4.5 a game, that's not terrible either. Like, Sadiq Bey has played really well. Whoa, what's good, bro? Appreciate you for tapping it, man. Y'all hit the like button, dog. So I'm just going through the stats, and like, the stats don't always tell the story, but in this particular case, it absolutely is telling the story about how you ended up 0-2. Trey shooting terrible from three, and it's reflecting in his points per game. And when the margins are small, you can't have Trey Murphy shooting 28% from three, right? You give him a little bit of a pass based on, you know, it's the beginning of the season, coming off the injury, first game in a while, chemistry, blah, blah, blah. You a star, bro. You making star money. You got to shoot. You got to hit. Poole, I think honestly, Poole has been playing exactly how I thought he was gonna play. I thought he's playing exactly how I thought he was gonna play. We need a system. That's the biggest problem. Green as the goals coaching doesn't work. I agree. I agree. And what the problem is with that being like with everybody kind of knowing that, what are we gonna how, like, what is it gonna take? I guess, like, what is it gonna take if they start off 0-6, or like if they lose 6 in a row? You think that's enough for Joe to be like, all right, I done seen enough, we gonna transition to Borrego? Because you can't get too far down in the season. You can't get too far down in the season, especially, not, they say they don't care about the draft pick, but if you start off 0-6, like, that's a tough hole to dig out of. Everything will change when they make the move. This is the definition of insanity. But so, like, at some point they're gonna have to make a decision. But when? Like, will it be, if they do make a decision, let's say it continues to go bad and they do make the decision, when do they make the decision? And are you in too deep of a hole to dig out of the situation that you in? Like, what if it's 20 games? Exactly. We always playing catch up. That's the part you can't afford to do. And what you're gonna end up doing is you're gonna put, I think the line is 5 games under 500. So if they like 0-5, you think he make the call? That could be quick. But if you just listen to him talk in the interviews and they press conferences and stuff like that, it just sounds like everybody other than, in my opinion, everybody other than Z. Like, because when you see Z face, Z just been looking disgusted at what's going on. I was about to say, Z and Joe just look absolutely disgusted, as if they already know what the plan is and they just waiting to get to it. Right? Like, they already know what's going on and they just like, dog, we can't keep doing this. So, and again, the players hold some culpability too. Like, again, Herb can't be shooting. What's Herb shooting from the field? 27% from the field. That's like, you got to be better, or you got to play less, especially when you're not defending. Sadiq Bey shooting 40% from the field and almost 45% from three. The thing you know about Willie Green is he not gonna bench Herb. Even when we at the game, we're at the game, and you can attest to this. We at the game. Herb has not hit a shot, has not been effective. Sadiq Bey has looked relatively well, and you still come back with Herb Jones. Those are the kind of things that I think Willie does that's like also not good coaching decisions. Aside from the scheme and stuff like that, when you watching the game, you should see that Herb is struggling. Your first name off the top of your head shouldn't just be call Herb as if he's Zion. That's different. No, you got to go through the roster, and somebody needs to suggest. And that's why I'm ready to hold everybody accountable. Ain't nobody just telling them, hey man, Herb's struggling. I mentioned that last show. So Green is arrogant and oblivious to the situation. He really think he's not the problem. That part I do believe in. And he keeps talking about like our group and what they need to do. And this is like, in the interview he did the other day, it was one of the first times I heard him say like kind of during the season, like, we need to adjust, like I need to adjust. So I'm just interested to see what kind of adjustments that he actually makes. So, but I'm just looking, man. I'm just looking, and that's kind of enough for the stats. I'm not gonna beat y'all down with the stats and whatnot, but looking at your two young players, think about this. Jeremiah Fizz in 23 minutes is averaging 15 points a game. And I know some people don't want to put him in the starting lineup because you still, like, he brings that production off the bench, right? And, still some playmaking and versatility and stuff like that. So Willie always talking like he ain't worried about nothing. He absolutely do that. Willie always expects the players to figure it out on their own. That's why their team going 18-0 runs. He don't call timeouts. Not only, like, and somebody mentioned this last episode, was like Willie coach, like, he got the Phil Jackson going on. And it's kind of like, how can you expect a team with no championship experience, minimal playoff experience, a completely new roster to have the answers. Like the group ain't been playing together long, so that's when you know you need to kind of help, you know, hey, you might not have it right now. I'm gonna give you the answers early. And you still a young coach, bro. Like you're not coaching veterans. These dudes still young in their careers. You have to help them along. You still also have young players on the floor. Like they don't know what Jordan Poole don't know what you expect. Jeremiah Fierce definitely don't know. He just out there playing, you know, I don't know what he out there playing with, poise and confidence, and just realizing what he, what it is that he needs to do. Him and Queen just look like they know how to play the game. He just look like they know how to play the game. He was treating Herb like he was expecting him to play out of the funk. Now we can't be, and that's the problem right there. Like the urgency is not there. And who cares about Herb's funk? Like Herb can be in the funk. Herb, you can afford to sit down. You have a reliable piece that you can play in Herb's position. And I like Herb. And it's not necessarily about Herb, but it's with anybody. Like Zion is a player you can't replace what he does. Like Trey is a player you can't replace what he does. Like those are the players that like, hey, bro, if Zion's struggling, you gotta go out there and play through the struggle. Herb Jones is not that player. Like you could absolutely survive without playing Herb Jones. Willie in the opposing him, he was talking. He ain't even mad. He not worried. That's what I'm saying. Y'all saw the video, man. You saw the video. He was just super composed. Like, we gonna figure it out. Yada yada. And it's just like, dog, that don't sound like somebody whose job is on the line. Bruh, Queen, I'm wondering if Missy and Carlo are back to play today, which we'll find out. If Queen loses his minutes, like, does he go back to not playing? Because that's a Willie Green move. Like, Derek Queen has got opportunities to play because, we've been missing people. And in those short stints, man, this dude had no preseason or nothing like that, but he's already, what is he? 9 points and 5, almost 6 rebounds on 25 minutes. He played 35 the other night. You know what I mean? But shooting 46% from the field. That's not bad based on his circumstances that we put him in. I ain't gonna say we put him in because he obviously was hurt and stuff like that. So, and that's the question with Eves and Carlo. Let's say Eves and Carlo play like a typical Willie Green move. Well, let me get that out of there. A typical Willie Green move would be, all right, I'm gonna play them, and then you won't see Derek Queen at all, or you'll see him for a very short stint, because when Willie has a full roster, he already struggles with rotations, but he's definitely going to struggle with who to play, how many minutes, when to put them in, and stuff like this. And I wouldn't be surprised if something like that cost us the game. If something like that cost us the game tonight, like, Derek Queen still deserves his minutes, even though you got people back. Like, people lose their jobs off of injury. So Missy definitely needs to play, and I would like to see Carlo as well. But that I don't want to see Carlo at the expense of Derek Queen. You know what I mean? So that's why you get paid the big bucks. Or maybe it's not so much the big bucks, but that's why you get paid to be the coach, to make those types of decisions and do whatever you feel. I don't say whatever you feel, but that's kind of what it boils down to. Do whatever you think is best for us to get the win. Let me the win. Hold on. I'm not sure how I'm on the pot. You're gonna be on for a little longer. Yeah, I got you. Hold on. Stand by, people. Stand by. 1 second. Let me see, dog. A little impromptu. We get impromptu. See if we can get Mike out here. Hold on. And look at that. We just working this out on the fly, by the way, which is crazy. It's sent. Let me know when you coming in. Well, obviously I see it, but But yeah, man, these be the kinds of things that cost you games. You can't afford it. You definitely can't afford 0-3, especially when they banged up. Joe and we even want to let him take Fizz and Queen's minutes that's out of his hands. I will hope, but do you think the rotations in general are out of his hands? Because if you Fizz for sure, I think Fizz done already show, and Fizz must be dominating in practice as well. Like Fizz must be busting ass in practice because like Jose was just kind of like, oh yeah, he got next. You know what I mean? Jose is very cognizant of his situation. And shout out to Jose. He's doing a good job supporting and cheerleading and coaching. And he got an opportunity to get in, and it didn't necessarily go well. Yeah, we talked about it early. We talked about it earlier. And like, so this was the thing we was talking about where if even if Z doesn't play tonight, right? It's against a banged up team or whatever, because Boston's not healthy either. But if you 2-0 as opposed to 0-2, you can afford to sit Z, still take a chance on winning this game, letting your rookies maybe play more, trying out different lineups or whatever, and you're not overly worried. At 0-2, looking at 0-3, you like, man, shit, we might need him out there. That's why he says starts DQ at the 4. I mean, it's something that you good. You good. Will he still control the rotations? He must control the rotations because I can't imagine that somebody that was competent watched Herb go 0-7 would have threw Herb back in that game when Herb just wasn't effective. That's just my opinion. Or if you controlling the rotations, we got to get Z ass up when they going on that 14-0 run. You know, to cut into your lead. You can't just sit there and watch. And I hope what I'm wondering is behind the scenes, right? Behind the scenes, is Joe Dumars allowing them, like, is he allowing Willie to like fall on his face, or is he trying to help like coach Willie out of these? Like, for example, let's say game 1, Joe just sat back and watched game 1, and him and Willie had a meeting after the game. It was just kind of like, yeah, bro, I think you could have, when they was going on that 20-0 run, that 19-0 run in the third, I think you could have done, you could have took a timeout sooner. You could have came back with your stars sooner. Your players got to play extended minutes. And then in game 2, right? Or maybe he told him, hey, Jordan Poole had it going. Why'd you take him out? And when you take him out, why'd you leave him out that long? If you see a player got it going, leave him in, right? Something like that. Let's say they had that conversation. And I think in game, Coach Collins do rotations. So like when you say do rotations, is it like Willie don't have no say in who's coming in or not? He just, all right, it's this person's time, is that person, because they talk about the scheduled rotations. Or is it him that don't have the feel for the game as well, and Willie just relying on him? Like, is he also not watching the game, or is he like, how does that work? Like, I'm just trying to figure out like how they, you know what I mean? And again, I'm just saying, if you know, I'm just wondering like how they situation functions, because they do still have, you can tell they still have a scheduled rotation thing. But even with that, you should be able to overrule that. Example, if Zion, because Zion still religiously comes out at the, what is it, the 6 minute, the 7, like right around 5 minutes. He played like 5 minutes and he immediately comes out. If I'm Willie Green and Zion rolling, I'd be like, hold on, bro. Let's give him a minute. Like, that's the power of being, the guy. You make the decisions, whether right or wrong. It's like, hey, get Herb back in the game. You can be like, no, not Herb, not Herb. Like, somebody found out we need Herb. No, not Herb. You know what I mean? That's because at the end of the day, that responsibility is gonna fall on you. Because we talking about Willie Green right now. We not talking about you know what I mean, Coach Jaron Collins. So somebody need to do something, and somebody might need to overstep a little bit. Look, I know rotation's your job, bro, but you it's not good right now. Whoa. Well, what it do, sir?
What's poppin', bruh?
Everybody, welcome Mr. Mike Butler to the show. You know what I mean? Just
What's
impromptu,
good?
you heard me showing up. Hold on, here we go. Hey.
Upgraded. Got the sound effects and whatnot. Yeah, dog. Had a little break before my next work meeting. I'm like, man, let me go jump on this pie real quick, man. Speak my mind with my brother, bruh.
Appreciate it. Yeah, you must dog, you must have been feeling
Yeah,
it like just no, go ahead.
son. I was yeah, bro. I was at the gym when you went live, and I was like, man, I got free time. I'm about to wrap up. Let me head back to the crib real quick. Get that link, bro. Then you started talking about the scheduled subs, and like that's stupid. Like,
bro, that's the scheduled subs. The scheduled subs has gotta be, and shout out to Trapper B. Said, of course, Willie has to say, but is he gonna say something? He rarely does. That's the problem right there. If your job is relying upon subs and you know better and you allowing the rotations to stay the way they are, that's on you. That's still on you. But what you think about that with the scheduled subs and rotations?
it don't make sense because, like, I get it. Like, if the ultimate was like, all right, Z, you going at the end of the day, you're gonna play 33 to 5 minutes a game.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, bro, first quarter, how about maybe we're gonna just let you play 7 minutes in the first quarter? We're gonna pull you out at 5. You know what I mean? And then Trey gonna be the first one to come out, or Poole be the first one to come out. And then do Poole be the first one to come out. Let Z and Trey run together since they already have that synergy. And then Poole could come in with the second unit with Sadiq and your other, with whoever else, and run that so you can constantly have offense, which you're gonna always have offense in, but like, though, you could do that. And then that way Poole had that autonomy in the second unit to get off his shots and do what Poole does best. The schedule sub is dumb. And what really pisses me off is that the media have, I'm gonna say this respectfully, like, they don't like to be scared to ask like questions. And I guess it's because, like, I've heard things which grub in the case, like, and Brew Crew people, like, if they ask pissed off the Pels brass, like, hey, bro, your media pass
can't ask that question.
Because, like, for me, I'm like, hey, bro, like, Zion had, not saying this happened, but like, hypothetically speaking, let's just say Zion played a night, and in the first 5 minutes, he got like 10 points. And the minute like 6:50, you get him out. Celtics going. No, when the post game come and be like, Coach Green, like, Zion had 10 points in the first 5 minutes, and we have the scheduled sub. Was there any conversation of maybe leaving him out there to play? If not, why not? I just want to hear what you got to say. Yeah, it just don't make sense.
Listen, to back that up, two things real quick. This is a real good point. I think Willie be overwhelmed sometimes. He don't think in a moment. He's a very reactionary person, right? Like, and the example of that is, you remember when what's his name, man? Dang, LSU, your boy.
Ryan Kelly?
No, the player, man. When Griff first got here, Garrett Temple, dog.
Shout out my Temple, bro.
Listen, man, shout out to Temple, bro. Great dude. You know what I mean? Like, probably a Hall of Famer in the city. You know what I mean? Hall of Famer from Louisiana. Easy.
I mean, still getting checks.
Bro, and shout out to him for that. And his suit game fire. But this man was playing extended minutes, and like was god awful, bro. God awful. And they asked Willie, did you know that Garrett Temple is shooting whatever from the field and it's like a negative, whatever? And he was like, no, I ain't even thinking that. I'm like, what the hell you mean? Like, what you mean? That's the kind of stuff that we're dealing with. There's been plenty of examples of it in the past, but it's the same thing right now. So, like, when you mention the rotations and stuff. And like, bro, you sitting there watching the game. It's like you're not even watching the games. Like in my KG boys, you ain't. That's how I knew you ain't watching the game, because when Poole in the first game, right, go for what he had in the first quarter, 10 in the first quarter, and got sat down early, right? Got sat down early, and then you don't see him for the extended streak, and you wonder why. Damn, what happened to our offense? Why is Memphis cutting into this lead? We ain't scoring. We was up 15. Now it's a 3-point game. Like those are the things that cause the issues. I made a point early, and I'm gonna pass this question to you. I don't know if you heard, but like, do you think? And Poole is a great example because he didn't play. He like the first game, he took him out for an extended period of time, right? And then they did not have a lot of minutes in the game. Like they played, I think both of them, like Trey and Poole, was right around like 30 minutes or something like that. In the game, when he yes, first game of the season, right? And then in the second game, you saw Poole play the whole first quarter. Do you think that that's Joe Dumars talking to him behind the scenes, like, bro, why the hell you did this, this, and this? You probably should have suggested doing this, this, and this, right? Do you think Joe helping him behind the scenes, or is Joe just sitting back like, let me see if he can figure it out?
I don't know if it's Joe or whoever else, but somebody clearly is in his ear. Even like the accountability he took, like I think the post practice yesterday.
Yeah,
when they asked him
I
something,
said that
he was just like, yeah, you talking about it earlier. He was just like, I gotta be better. Like, and that's coach speak. All coaches say that. I've never heard Willie say that. Willie
he don't never say that.
Yes, Willie has never taken accountability and said anything to that extent, like, I have to be better. You know what I mean? So I do think that it is a part of like Joe, like, hey, bro, like, listen, like, I've seen this. You know what I mean? I've been around this before. So because it don't make sense. Like, because like I'm told to sub at this time instead of watching the ebbs and flow of the game against Memphis. That would have been a game possibly to play Jose, like that type of game where it's like up and down the court and you need somebody to just cause chaos. That's when you play Jose. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like
especially when Hawk is struggling.
Yeah, this last game, Herb struggled. Herb is not Poole, Trey, or Zion, where he's elite offensively. Hey, bro, you come have a seat next to me. Look, tonight is not your day. Tonight is not your night. You're going to have a chance to redeem yourself next game. I'm going to roll in this overtime with Sadiq. I'm going to roll the rest of this fourth quarter with Sadiq. Why? Sadiq was like 3 or 4 from the three-point line against the Spurs and didn't play no more. So it's just like if Collins is the person that does the
rotational guy,
where were you? Where were you in that situation? Like why?
What was your antennas when I'm stealing my out the stove?
Yeah, like where? And I'm like, dog. I feel like we've had the same coaching staff for like ages. I know we finally got to get and stuff like that. I feel like Collins.
Well, remember, most of the coaching staff been here before Willie got here.
I'm saying Collins, Brewer, they've been here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We brought Greg on. We bought Borrego came, I think, year or the year before last. But like
it was last year.
Yeah, last
year.
year
Before last. Year before last.
Yeah. So Borrego came the year before last. We brought Greg on. We bring like a few of the development coaches. But these other coaches that's been here, like, dog, like, you're not gonna get rid of them? Like what have they done? I don't even see Corey Brewer no more. I don't see him on the screen. I don't see him at all. But that's neither here nor there. But I do think there is some accountability that's really taken. And I do believe that either came from Joe or he on the hot seat. And he's, so.
Yeah. So we was talking about this earlier, us in the chat, and it's kind of like there's like he can't survive 0-5. There's like 5 games under 500. You think it's done? Like, do you got a cutoff number? Because you looking at tonight, even if Zion does not play, because I think Jaylen Brown might not play either. I don't know if Boston announced it or not yet, but Jaylen Brown may not play. If Jaylen Brown does not play, even if Zion don't play, you can't afford you can't lose that game.
No. you got to win tonight. Especially if Jaylen Brown don't play, you most certainly have to win tonight. And I think to your earlier question, I think he's going to get. I think it should be 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to get up to 20.
Not if you're 0-5, or if you're 0-7, 0-8.
So here's the thing: you can 0-5 can be argued, which always the Willie excuse was that look, I was without my centers. I ain't have Loon, I ain't have Carlo. All I had was Eves and Hunter Dickinson. Last game, I had to start Sadiq Bey at center. So you got those arguments at least in the first 5 until Loon get back November 4th, which is next week. So
listen, I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to cut you off, but the problem with that is that there's always excuses, and good coaches, you don't get excuses. You win despite, especially when like last year was different, right? Last year everybody was hurt, and there was still games while everybody was hurt where it was coaching the reason you was losing those games. Like there was no Alfred Payton out there with 20-something assists. You know what I mean? Got you in the game against the Nets, and then he don't play the next game. Like, and then this right here, we 0-2, but even with the injuries, those games were very winnable. Very winnable. You had ease in game 1.
Yes. Up double digits until Ja was checked out early in that game. Then the last game, and this is my point, on Twitter, some dude was like, Willie Green coached his ass off in the Spurs game. And I'm just like, see, my issue is you're already giving them a cop-out because we didn't have our centers. And I get it.
Yeah.
We were already disadvantaged because we didn't have the centers. However, when we fouled out, and I'm sorry, I'm personally not worried about Luke Cornett. Like, I know he played well, but like
Luke Cornett did not be able to.
Exactly. With Derek Queen and stuff like that. For me, I'm like, dog, that was still like said in the comment. That was a winnable game, bro. Like, we were there. Like, we got up, we were down. First of all, we missed I know we got back to start the half like late, but when we got back, we were already down like 4.
Yeah.
Because the third quarter started how it started, like typical third quarter Pels.
Yeah. So, you managed the third quarter. You was only down 1 or 2 going into the fourth.
Exactly. But guess what? We were losing. And what does the track record say when we're losing going into the fourth under Willie Green? We're probably going to lose the game. It's a loss. Yeah. So we're losing against Memphis. We're losing. No matter that we took the lead in both of those games, it don't matter. We're going to lose. Because in crunch time, he folds. So it's like you got up 8 against the Spurs, 94-86. You didn't call a timeout until the score was, what was it? 100
went up
to 94. It was a 14-0 run.
Yeah.
A 14-0 run. So up 8 to down 6, you call your first timeout.
And you know what? And I said this on the last episode that we did, or that I did, but it was like when you at the games, right? You shouting out. They on a 4 run. Call a timeout. It's a 6-0 run. Call a timeout. Bro, it's not like the play not stopping. Like they had plays where they got an inbound because it ain't just like 14 like, you know what I mean? The play not stopping. Like ball might go out of bounds. Somebody might miss it. Like you have opportunities when the play actually stops to where you could be like, like you ain't even looking at the scoreboard. Like, are you not looking at the scoreboard? Like, hey, like you just watching the game. You don't think that's another thing. I just thought about it. Do you think they're watching the scoreboards?
I don't think he do a lot of anything, bro. I just think Willie Green just got that like this, or with his hands in his pocket. It's a lot
like,
of that.
Bro, he be looking so composed and it's so infuriating.
Put like this: when Spurs went on that run and took the lead up 6, we scored 4 points, made the score 100-98. What's the coach? Mitch Johnson, I think that's his name for the Spurs. Immediately,
Mitch, yeah.
4-0
2 buckets in a row.
They still winning. But because we scored 2 straight baskets, hold the hell on. Like, stop.
Cool.
I mean, and he come from the pop tree, so That
Yeah,
pop call. No, I remember Pop calling the timeout after like the first bucket of the game. He's like, "Yeah, I don't like the
bruh.
way it's going." Like,
When they was having the struggles with the transition defense immediately, like you know what I'm calling the timeout when Trey keep going underneath the screen or like dog, how many threes does Devin Vassell need to hit throughout the course of the game for us to get to the end of the game and you be like, I ain't gonna let him do that to me again. I think he had hit like 5 in the game or something like that.
yep.
Bro, all the same way. All the exact same
And
way.
that's my biggest issue because like Trey was getting bashed for saying he kept going under the screen, but bruh, the entire team was going under the screen. So to me,
Yes.
what are y'all emphasizing in practice?
Yes.
Defensively, though, how many times did we see them like just fast break, like transition? They set one little screen at the top and somebody going straight through the lane for a dunk or a layup or something like that. Like it's been happening since the preseason. Like just score a bucket, ball already back down the court for a bucket back. And it's just like, bro, defense is pathetic.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Like that, he just so composed, and I think he too composed. Like the sense of urgency is not there. I think the sense of like I really think, or at least I'm getting to the point of thinking, like he has gotten immune or like desensitized to what's going on, to where he don't get mad watching what's happening. You get what I'm saying? Like, bro, you know when like you see something happen and it immediately piss you off, you be like, dog, why timeout? Like timeout's typically coming out of anger from you not doing what you supposed to. Like when they don't foul Z or when they don't call a foul on Z or something like that, when Wemby second or third play of the game, right? Wemby got the early first, or they were hacking Zion most of the game anyway. But when they're not calling them fouls, you ain't just angry watching your player get fouled to where you get, you know what I mean? Poole damn near throwing up the DX sign at the end of the game when they're not calling the ball off. It's like you ain't even going to fight for them to review it. That's the kind of stuff that like really is like infuriating watching the yeah. Listen, Trey, appreciate you joining the show, Trey. I hope you gotta have it for it to be game 3 and essentially feel like a must win. Like that's how I feel to me. It feels like it's a must win. Like, especially if I don't care if Zion don't play, bro. But if Zion don't play, if Jaylen Brown does not play, there's nobody on that team. Like, respectfully to the Celtics, there's nobody on that team with the roster that they got now. That's like, it's not a G League team. I ain't gonna go that far, but you get what I'm saying? Like, that's a team full of rotational people at best.
Yep. Derek White, their best player. And Anthony Simons, like, they can't beat you, bro.
No, hold on, bro. Let me pull this up because I had this. Is this the right one? Hold on. No, I changed it. Go ahead. Like, because I was looking at the Celtics stats today, bro.
They're terrible.
Yes.
Who's their center?
I don't think they have one. How do we have no plays for when teams build a wall? Bro, listen. This is insane. How do teams have no plays for when they build a wall on Zion? Everybody just stands around the 3-point line with their hands out, expecting them to solve the problem.
So to that point, this is where my issue comes in about like when we do that 14-0 run, why you don't call a timeout? Because for me, here's the thing. One, you're not just calling the timeout to stop the run. The objective is to stop the run, but the timeout itself is not to stop the run. The timeout itself is like, all right, man, y'all come here. Look,
let's get a plan.
Run. Let's draw up a good ATO to where we could get an easy look. Because when you're not calling timeout, now you just letting them go back and forth up the court and like turnover, bad shot, missed shot, turnover, timeout. Yep. Hey, let's run this play right here. Let's get Zion going downhill. Let's get like a ghost screen for Trey or Poole or something like that. You can do that. And the issue is, to the point where he's like how we don't have no plays for Zion. The issue is we have plays. They're just not called. I've seen this team run many sets before. Man, when the starters don't play, Willie Green be in his bag with plays. Though I remember that game, Jordan Hawkins had like 34. I ain't never seen so many sets ran. And this wasn't the one where Willie was out. This the Hawkins game versus Dallas. where all their starters didn't play, where all our starters didn't play, but Luka played, and Jordan Hawkins went like
30
band
something.
with Luka, and you could see the plays like Jordan Hawkins coming out all type of curls and pin downs and everything. Trey Poole, they don't get none of that. The only play Zion get is the dribble handoff or like the inverted pick and roll with Trey at the top of the key.
Let me ask you this, because you mentioned it, and this is a great point. One of Jordan, like we're limiting Jordan Poole, and we're limiting Trey to be also, but specifically Jordan Poole, because one of Jordan Poole's best offensive assets is his all-ball movement, like being able to come off screens, catch and shoot. You know what I mean? Like he has, obviously Steph is the best at it, but he had a little bit of that, and you even saw that in Washington, him moving off ball and stuff like that. Like in the 2 games, we haven't seen much of that at all. All this man offense is coming like with the ball in the hand, with the ball in his hand, or a little bit off of like Zion or Trey creation or something like that. It's never, off screen, back screen, and like, yeah, you need screeners to do that, but you still, dog, and that's the part that makes me upset. When you're getting a Jordan Poole player and you're hopefully studying his game, you should see a lot of the things that he does well, like the off-ball movement. How can we implement this with our team and get ourselves some easy buckets? We just don't do it.
He don't. And I also don't think he claims he do. I also think he watches the film on his players to implement stuff. Like I still go back to like that now granted we won when we played the Bulls last year for opening night with DeJounte Murray. I remember when DeJounte Murray first got here and they did the press conference for Willie Green, and he was clueless on DeJounte. And they were asking him like, what do you see in DeJounte as a player? And this man went to talk about him being a good person and blah blah blah. And I'm like, dog, like, and then you call the man Devontae.
Yeah.
And like he had no clue. And I just think he still has no clue. Cause it's like, bro, like you do know you can run plays for your best players. You coach in Golden State with Steph Curry. Steph Curry plays off ball a lot.
They team play off ball a lot. Not just like everybody on the team gotta have movement in that particular offensive style. I just don't understand how you didn't implement none of that.
You got 2 dudes on the team right now who can come off a 3, who can come off a bunch of screens and get shots. Now, I don't think Trey is as good of a movement shooter as Poole and Hawkins are, but you got 2 dudes that could run off a bunch of screens and do that. Sadiq even is pretty decent coming off of screens and shooting. You know what I mean?
Sadiq, it won't happen. It won't happen. But, and again, you got to both of them coming off injury and ain't played in the season. Sadiq is out playing Herb Jones right now.
And Sadiq came off a knee injury.
That's what I'm saying.
Like a knee. Sadiq, he's not even back to his self yet 100%.
I was about to give Herb Jones the pass of like he missed a year. And I'm like, well, Sadiq ain't played all year either. And like bruh, I give Herb
more time than Herb.
Sadiq is being much more effective offensively and defensively if you look at it. Because again, we haven't had that. Well, we did have the player. You had Ja with that player you supposed to guard. Again, you can't stop Ja anyway. But like, I don't know if it's the responsibilities or what, man. And Herb had a good first game. Early first game. He just was overextending himself a little bit too much, in my opinion. Yeah. But if this is consistent, like I know Willie won't make a change in the starting lineup, but if they did make a coaching change, do you think that like the starting lineup is going to be shaken up at all?
Yes. So I actually told somebody that on Twitter. I was like, I don't see Willie doing it, but I do believe if a coaching change occurs,
let's just say it's Borrego.
I can see Borrego's an offensive dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think Borrego would be like, hey,
let's shake it up.
You gonna start.
Yep.
You gonna start. He might keep Eves out there for now. You know what I mean? But it's gonna be Poole, Trey, Sadiq, Zion, Eves. Now you got 4 dudes that can score.
Everybody can put the ball on the floor.
And then Eves gonna hustle and get you like Eves
played well.
I have no.
Yeah, say, bro, listen. Eves game 1 was impressive. Like, it wasn't a great game, but year 2, big, going against Jaren Jackson. I have no complaints about what Eves did in his minutes. You know what I mean? In that situation, it's not like they're running sets for him. He was catching the ball cleanly. You know what I mean? He had one. The only mistake I can remember is I think Jeremiah threw him a lob and he went up with the one. Like, bro,
yes,
go up with 2 hands, catch the ball, either come down with it or you know what I mean, catch it and dunk it. But like, other than that, I don't have no problems with what Eves did, and I think Eves gonna be solid to where I think he could start. But again, like, the even if you go Sadiq Bey as opposed to Derek Queen, because for me it's Derek Queen, because I just think he's a better rebounder and can probably do more things. But if they went with Sadiq Bey, versus Herb Jones, and I don't know if you're willing to make that proclamation about we was talking about the re-sign. You want to put that out in the atmosphere?
Oh, that Sadiq getting extended before
the extension
Poole?
over Poole?
Yeah, I think, like I said, he's just gonna be cheaper. I think he's gonna be cheaper to extend.
He's like a 12 to 15 mil kind of player.
And then Fear's emergence this quickly. And let's say you want to do like the big lineup, right? So you go Fears, Trey, Z for the future. Fears, Trey, Z, Queen, Eves. You know what I mean? Or Carlo or Loon, whatever future. Well, I don't think Loon gonna be on this team next year, but whatever future center you go get, you know what I mean? Which reminds me, though, I know we talked about this. I really, 1 year while Zion is here, bro, I just want a good like stretch 5, bro, just for 1 year. Like 1 year, give Zion like a Porzingis or a Shet type, bro.
Think about this.
Just 1 year. Let me just see how it looks before he get traded.
I just thought about this as you was mentioning it. So right now, and I don't want to move Poole, obviously. I'm a Poole fan. I want Poole to stay here. And I think Poole should be, I even think in the future, I would extend Poole, depending on what the numbers are, obviously. But hypothetical, right? Poole and Murray make up $60 million of your roster. 2 players, $60 million of your roster. And they both play similar positions to what your star pick play. You could with 60 million, you could really revamp what this team looked like real quick if you could find the right moves in place to do it. Again, I'm not moving Poole just yet, but if you get to the point where it's looking like, oh yeah, well, obviously Fears is going to be the guy, but again, I'm ready to start him. I'm damn near ready to start him by game 10. The dude averaging 15 points a game on like almost 60% shooting. Obviously, the 60% not going to keep up, but you get the point of what I'm saying. What, like, I ain't even thought about those options yet. Like, if you decided to move Poole and Murray, who could be available, or what, like, you probably could go find a stretch 5. Hypothetically, let's say Nas make 25.
Yeah.
Nas make 25. Huh?
Nas ain't no center though.
He ain't gotta be no center. I'm just saying, like, how many stretch centers you got in the game?
Shit, probably like 3, if that.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So, like, he one of the closest things, but if you trying to get off him and Murray, they still need a point guard. Talking about Minnesota.
Yeah.
I mean, if you talk about putting Poole on the bench anyway, take that 30 mil, give me that 25 and something else, and throw Nas Reed out there.
There's a lot of teams that could use a point guard, so I'm really, really hoping that DeJounte come back right, because I'm sending that boy straight to Houston.
Straight to Houston. Who you pulling back from Houston? $30 million though.
It's got to be like Tari and like maybe like another.
I mean, how much Finney Smith made? No, we're gonna have to do the episode about like possible. Yeah,
I don't even know what DFS making. It can't be that much because he's coming off.
I can't imagine.
So,
but like,
Yeah, like I'm probably calling them. I'm calling Dallas because again, I don't think Kyrie playing this year. I don't know who I'd take from Dallas though. Like that'd be the only thing for 30 M's. You got to give me like PJ Washington or something. Man, send me Najee back, bro.
You definitely can use a Najee right now.
Like,
Najee make 10.
Shout out Najee, the Brandon Ingram stopper, like he said in his interview.
I'm interested to watch that game.
They played. They beat them yesterday. Dallas won yesterday.
Oh, did they?
Uh-huh.
What BI had?
He had like 22. He had BI numbers. 22, 5, and 4. Like you BI's gonna get you 21, 5, and 5, bro. That
He's still look good. So listen, this is my point when I pulled up trade numbers, and we'll talk this real quick. I kind of want to show the Celtics stats. We'll finish with why you got to beat this damn team, and then we'll get out of here. But like with Trey, because I pulled up Trey averaging like right around 8.5, 9 rebounds a game, and 18.5. But he's shooting 20% from three, 23% from three. Like, bro, for this team to be whatever it is we think, you gotta do as a starter at minimum BI numbers are better, right? Like BI, aside from last year, not last year, the year of the 49 win season when his numbers was down a little bit, but we won. He was at around like 18, something like that. Everybody numbers was down. If Zion giving you 27, Trey, you gotta be at least 21, 22.
So I agree. I also think like, let's say it's like 19, 20. And I only say that simply because I think we have more scorers this year than we've had.
Who giving you 19 right now?
Who giving you 19? Fears. I'm not
Fears
saying
giving you 15.
15 the entire season. Sadiq gonna give you around that. At some point, I think Sadiq's average is gonna jump up to like 14 off the bench. Like
that's typically what he does when he gets in the rhythm.
I think Sadiq is gonna be in the running for like 6-man or comeback player of the year. He's gonna be in one of those by the end of the season.
If Sadiq Bey averaging 14 off the bench and Herb Jones is giving you 10, like, I mean, I guess you could leave it, but
I think you could leave that. But if it was like Herb only give you like 8,
right now you're averaging 8.5.
Exactly. If Sadiq gets up to his peak again, which I think by like game 30 in that range, he's gonna be, you know what I mean? Because you want to have some scoring off the bench. So if you got Fears and Sadiq, and then by that time Derek Queen up and running with Carlo, like if I can run a lineup of Carlo and Queen and Fears and Sadiq, I can afford to put Jordan Hawkins out there now. Yeah, like, hey, bro, Fears, all you gotta do is you could go score. You got shooters on both sides. You got Queen, and you got a center in Carlo and Queen that's gonna rebound the ball and run. And then you got 3 dudes because in the second lineup you got 2. You got Fears, you got Queen that could start the break. Sadiq probably could dribble it up too, but like Hawk.
That's not his game.
Yeah, Hawk and Carlo sprint,
run the wing,
set up. Fears, Queen, get it and go. And you could see Queen wants to do it now. And both games, he done got the rebound. And one time a game, he does it. And then, like, the rest of the time, he passes it. It's going to be
what I like
with him.
You know what I like with him when he takes it? Pause. That's crazy. When he's on a break, it's like, even though he's on a break, he's still patient with his offense. Like, he's not coming down and just forcing it. Comes down, or got a little man on me, turns, push the back to him, you know what I mean? And if I got like a little easy layup, and he don't even have his touch yet, like the riff probably still not 100%. Wait till that dude get in rhythm and get his game going. That's these dudes.
He's gonna be good. Like everything Queen getting right now is like dunker spot, here off the tip, offensive rebound, layup, and then every once in a while he'll get one coast to coast layup. All that, like he's going to be. Absolutely. You can see it. Like he's
the IQ is there
by December.
Yeah, the IQ is there. The skill is there, definitely. So transitioning back to the night's game, man. We got the Celtics coming in. Can you see that? Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. Like really pay attention to it.
Hold up, let me do this.
Because essentially, I just want to like re-emphasize how like if Jaylen Brown don't play, bro, Jaylen averaging 30, as he should. But it's just 30-5, like 35-3. First off, shout out to all those people who were saying Jaylen Brown the number one option over Tatum. You know what I mean?
Oh, crazy.
Like, not saying that Tatum could do whatever without Brown, but I imagine if they still had Tatum and Brown was out, I just don't think they'd be 0-3, personally.
Not at all.
Yeah, Tatum is him. But, no, your second leading scorer is Derek White. And Derek White shooting 12 threes a game. He's shooting 28% from three. That is not fantastic.
You know what that means for the night, right?
He bombing us.
48% from three tonight.
Absolutely
him and Simon's about to smoke her.
Bro, listen, Peyton Pritchard averaging 15 on he's shooting less than 20% from three. He's shooting less than 20% from three.
They just seem small.
You see what I'm saying? Look at the roster. I'm looking for their center. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Nemus Cater?
Yeah, him and Xavier Tillman are their centers.
Him and who? Oh, Tillman.
Xavier Tillman.
And Luke Garza. Got a couple
Garza is hurt. He hurt.
Okay. Say, bro, listen, you gotta win this game.
This will be the perfect game for Zion to play. But I guarantee you, once they saw this roster, they was like, "Yeah, Zion, you gonna sit out." Because the Pels got a back-to-back coming up, right?
I think so. I think it's the first back-to-back of the season.
Yeah.
I think it's Clippers Nuggets.
We got the most back-to-backs this year.
Clippers OKC. I think the Clippers OKC is the back-to-back.
Yeah, we got the most back-to-backs this year in the NBA.
I thought they were tied for second most.
Is it second most? I know it's up there.
It's up there.
Yeah, like you got to beat this team, bro.
Look at the numbers, bro. Sam Hauser averaging 11 points a game. In total, they only averaging 108 a game.
Yep.
108 a game. You got to win that game.
They can't keep you out the paint with nobody.
Bro, how much are the Pels averaging on the season per game?
120?
No, you averaging 120 a game.
I knew it was like 120.
You averaging 120 a game.
Mind you, we averaging 120 a game, and we're at the bottom of the league in 3-point attempts and percentage. We're a dominant paint team. Dominant.
The back-to-back, I think, is the weekend.
Yeah. Dominant paint team.
Yeah.
We got up to like we can never do 43 a game simply because the way Zion and Herb, because there's such low volume, Zion don't shoot threes at all, and Herb only shoots about 3 to 4. You're not getting enough out of your starters to shoot that. But bro, I don't need you at 43s. OKC didn't shoot 43s.
No,
30 to 35. But you can't be 32.
The percentage need to be up.
Yeah,
the percentage need to be
the
up.
right people needs to shoot the threes. Herb, stop.
Herb shooting 11 shots a game, dog.
I don't mind. So here's the thing. It's the type of shots. Last game, he was like, 6 from 3. Bro, don't shoot no more. They were literally leaving you open. They could see you being like discouraged every 3 you shot. Them 2 threes he shot in overtime at the top of the key, he didn't want to shoot them, bro. He shot them because he was open. Yeah. He didn't want to shoot that. He was out of it. Missing layups. Like, hey, bro, if you shoot 11 shots and 8 of those 11 shots and you get into the paint, you got to finish, though. That's the issue. You got to finish.
Yeah, it's not a back-to-back. So they play the Celtics tonight. They got the Nuggets on the 29th, which is Wednesday. And then they play the Clippers that Friday. And then, which is the 31st. And then you play the Thunder that Sunday. Now, on November, their first back-to-back is November 4th. The November 4th game.
Thursday.
Yeah, they play the Hornets on a Tuesday, and then they play the Mavs that Wednesday. That's the first back-to-back game.
Gotcha. So so just to real quick, because I'm looking at some of these announcements coming, why I'm so drove. So peep this. Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford is out. Alex Caruso and Jalen Williams, obviously Jalen Williams out, and Chet might be out. Anthony Edwards gonna be out 2 weeks. So all these injuries, bro, like, and our
All the
main
West
people
teams
here.
struggling.
Our main people are here. We went
Yes.
2-0. I'm feeling good, like going into this knowing, like, hey, bro, like all these things hurt.
Bro, when we was doing the season, right? Talking about the season, we accounted for all of this. You just got to do your damn part and win these games. Like the Spurs game, you had an opportunity to win that game. Regardless whatever you feel about the team, you were in position to win that game. You literally up two with a couple seconds left in the game. You get what I'm saying?
Bad defense and free throws.
You up eight in the fourth quarter. Not saying that's, you know what I mean?
You gotta close it, bro. You at home.
Against Memphis, you up 20. Damn near up 20. I think the biggest lead was like maybe 15 to 16, something like that. But you up damn near 20. You got to close those, bro. And like, again, tonight, and we're going to close with this. Tonight, you absolutely have to win this game. Like, the West is still not. So you got, well, let me pull out the standings. So the Spurs and OKC are the only undefeated teams. The Spurs and OKC are the only other undefeated teams. Golden State, the Lake, so Utah 1-1. Phoenix 1-2, Sac 1-2, Portland 1-2, Dallas 1-2. Us and Houston, the only teams in the West with no wins. And you know Houston gonna get wins.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, you gotta win this game. You absolutely have to win
with
this
these
game.
other teams stars being out. Like
yes.
Luka is out for like a week. Ant is out for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Like that's two teams that think will be above you. Like, bro,
yes.
like those are wins. You know what I mean? Like you have to get these wins right now.
And if not, like, and again, and to me, that's why if you get off to 0-6, you could be dead in the West. And I've said this before, bro. Willie will give you a 10-game losing streak. He ain't above it.
Bro, if we're 2-8 by the time the first 10 games, that's a wrap for him.
I hope so.
I think he's gonna get 20. However,
season could be over at 20.
What? It ain't gonna matter. I don't think it's gonna matter. Like
the season was over. Season was over at 20 last year.
Yeah,
season was dead at 20 games. There was no chance.
Joe said in the interview before, he was like, "Look, I'm not really worried about, essentially like playoffs or whatever the case may be. Like, I just want them to play hard." And I think he made that trade for Queen, so you don't have a pick next year in the draft. But like, it's just like, yeah, the season may be over technically, but guess what? Number 0 and number 22, y'all season just begun. Like 30 minutes a game. Like just we about to run it. We about to see, especially if this stuff with Zion about to start happening.
Now, again, because if Willie is, you gotta consider these. Again, we did the numbers, bro. The dude, he good for. So that's the thing. He's got the multiple 10-game losing streaks. He got 9-game losing streaks, 7-game losing streaks. He's never only one time he's only won more than 7 games in a row. Like I think the one time in the Zion number 1 seed, the streak went to 7.
I thought 5 was always the most. Oh no, that was that one season we couldn't.
That's saying the one season, the streak that one time the streak went to 7. After that, it's 4 games and then lost. Like that's it. But with this particular situation, and then they're gonna use even if you start off slow and you say, all right, Queen fears 30 minutes a game. Do you want to give them 30 minutes a game of Willie Green coaching? Or do you want to get them 30 minutes a game with somebody competent that's going to be around? Because at that point, if you 0 and whatever or 2 and whatever, they not changing that. And whatever habits he teaching, they don't need to learn.
Right, but it's only 20 games. They got 62 left.
No.
You still got more than half the season left. I'm just saying, I just think, look, listen, I think it's gonna be 20. I'm hoping it's 10. Like at 10, like, all right, bro, you 1-9, you 2-8.
Oh my gosh, dog.
Like if you not at least 5-5 in the first 10 games, like
the
you gotta
first
go.
so the next seven, Celtics hurt. Nuggets, you play them tough. Clippers, you play them tough. Then you got OKC, Celtics, Nuggets, Clippers, OKC, Hornets, Mavericks, Spurs. Oh, then there's one more because that's the 0-2. And then the Suns. And then the Suns.
After what I'm seeing so far, definitely beat the Spurs.
How you gonna say that is on the road?
You could definitely beat the Mavericks.
You saying could or will?
Could.
Okay, could.
Yeah. You could definitely beat the Spurs. You could definitely beat the Mavericks. Definitely beat the Hornets. You should beat the Celtics tonight. That's 4 wins. And then the Suns. That's 5. At the very least, that's 5. If you play Denver hard, because we do, you depending on what Joker you get, because Joker will have a night where he's like, but I just don't feel like hooping.
So if you come out 5-5, obviously he's not fired at 5-5. No. 5-5 or 6-4, he's not fired.
3-7, 2-8. Here's your papers, brother.
I'm hoping 0-6 get it done because 0-6, the best you could do is 4-6, and you're still under 500.
So I think 0-6 could get it done. I just don't think
they win in the night. They win in the night.
If we don't win tonight, play this. If we don't win tonight, and if there's no Jaylen Brown versus no Zion, and we don't win tonight,
today,
it's gonna be like, all right, bro. Because now you got OKC, Denver, and the Clippers.
Listen, you know what'll happen, and this is gonna be the last thing we go. If they lose tonight, without no Jaylen Brown, you lose to the Celtics. They go to Denver. They're going to get blasted by Denver.
Yeah.
If they lose to the Celtics and then got to go to Denver, they're going to get blasted by Denver. Then you're going to leave Denver, and then you got to go to the Clippers. You 0-4. And then you go to the Clippers. You might win that. But it's a for who? It ain't a back-to-back.
No, it's the back-to-back next week. You said all right.
You got a day in between. You got a day, and then you go to the Clippers, and then you come back and you get Shea, who been giving everybody. You know, he giving you 30, but he might give us 50. You already know you ain't beating the Thunder in the OKC.
Yep.
So if you lose tonight, and then let's say you lose, even if it's close, you lose. But then you get blown out in Denver. So now you got 2 games you was up. You got 2 games you was up and should have won. One of them at home, right? You got a 3rd game, no Jaylen Brown. The best player on their team is Derek White. You lose at home. You go to Denver. Let's say Z play, but you get blasted. It's on the table. You get blasted. That's a blowout. 2 losses that shouldn't have been losses that you gave away. 3 technically. 3 that you shouldn't have lost, you came away. And then you go to the Clippers. Even if you win, hypothetically you win. And then you go to OKC and get the fuck beat out you in OKC, and you won in 5. It's not trending up.
That's why I said 10.
It's not trending. I don't think he's making
injuries. I don't think he's getting fired in 5 games. Now, if it's 0-6, like you said, if it's 0-6, you probably have like, hey, all right, yeah.
If they get blown out tonight,
I fight him after tonight. If you get blown out tonight, to be honest with you, you gotta go.
If you get blown out tonight,
at home,
you won the game.
Nah, I ain't gonna beat out tonight.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, bro. Listen, go Pels. I know it's hard to say go Pels after all of that. Listen, I really want to be positive about the team. I believe in the talent. They are good. Like they showed you they're good. It's just a couple things that they need to work out.
This team last year and the year before, Trey said it, and even some of the reporters, like this is not the same Pels team because we getting ran out the building all these other games. Like the minute this 10-0 run and we get down, that's a wrap. Since the preseason, we've been coming back. Like, you know what I mean? And that's part of Joe's philosophy. Like, dog, y'all gonna play hard. Y'all not gonna embarrass me out there. Y'all gonna play hard out here.
And Joe probably disgusted. Son, Joe probably disgusted. You know why? Because they talked all that shit, and he probably like, bro, these should be blowouts. Why are y'all losing these games? These should be blowouts. Y'all suck. Y'all suck.
Mike Malone, get ready, brother.
Yeah, I'm about to start sending fan mail. Mike, we need it. Listen, bro, the regime change could be on the way. Shout out to LSU for doing what they needed to do, being willing to pay that $50 million or whatever they owe this man, however much that money is. Sometimes losing hurt that much, right? You got to just do what you got to do. Bite the bullet. And hopefully the Pelicans are in pursuit. And I don't want to just be calling for Willie Green's job, but I'm calling for the job, bro.
Man, get that boy out of here.
Yeah, do what we got to do. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Hit the like button, share the stream. I'm May Davis. That's Mike B. Y'all stay safe. If you at the game, I catch you at the game. Everybody, peace.